Hello all, welcome to a new video in Linux command line tutorial series. In this video, we are going to learn about CP command. CP stands for copy. As the name suggests, the CP command copies files and directories. It can be used mainly in two different ways. The most commonly used way is to give two arguments to the CP command. Let's say item 1 and then item 2. Item 1 and item 2 can be paths to the files or directories. What this command does is copy item 1 which can be a file or directory to item 2 which can be any file or directory. Another unconventional way to use cp command is to copy more than one item into a directory. Let's say if you give another two items, let's say item 3, item 4, and then if you give a directory, let's say dir, what this command does is it copies all four items, item 1, item 2, item 3, and item 4 to directory dir. There can be any number of items here, but the last argument must be a directory so that all items can be fit into this directory. So let us see some examples using cp command. First, let us see the contents of current directory. The current directory contains three files, which are A file, B file, C file, and two directories, directory 1 and directory 2. Let us see contents recursively so that we can understand what's inside the directories. So directory 1 contains a D file, another file, E file. Directory 2 contains E file. These are created by me to show the function of cp command. Let's say first let us copy a file to file. Let's say let us copy from A file to B file. First let us see the contents of A file. A file contains a single line A and ends. So let us quit ls view and then see the contents of B file. B file contains only a single line which is B. Let us quit the ls view and let us copy A file into B file. Let us see what happens. Let us see the contents of B file. You can see that the B file contains the contents of A file which is A. Let us see the contents of A file also. You can see that the A file remains same. One thing to note when we are copying one file into another file is if the file 2 exists, it is overwritten with the contents of file 1. In this case, you can see that the B file exists and it contains contents which is a line B, but it is overwritten by a line A which is from A file. You can see that the contents of B file got eliminated. So better be careful when we are using copy command and check whether the target file exists or not. Next, let us copy a file to directory. Let's say let us copy C file to directory 1. You can see that the directory 1 contains D file. Let us copy C file into directory 1. Let's say C file and then directory 1. Let us see what happens now. You can see that the directory 1 contains another file whose name is C file. If we don't give any file name here, it copies with the file name C file. Now let us copy from directory to another directory. Let's say let us copy from directory 1 to directory 2. Copy directory 1 to directory 2. You can see that we cannot copy without using an option called R. We cannot copy one directory into another directory. Now let us copy multiple files to a directory. Let's say let us copy A file, B file, and C file into directory 2. You can copy this in two ways, that is to use wildcards, or you can use the second syntax of cp command to use multiple arguments. Let's say let us use multiple arguments and copy all the three files to directory 2. Now let us see the contents recursively. You can see that the directory 2 contains A file, B file, and C file. Here the directory 2 contains only E file. You can also copy this using regular expressions. Let's say copy and then star, which shows that there can be any number of characters before here, and then ends with file. You can see that the all three files, A file, B file, and C file, ends with the name file. So let us use this, and then the target directory is directory 2. you can see that they are copied here. And now let us copy a file using a option into directory 1. Say copy a option which archives the files a file and then into directory 1. Now let us see the attributes of everything in directory 1. You can see that the a file is copied and its attributes remains December 24th 2209. These attributes remains same with the attributes here. Now let us see another useful option of cp command which helps us determine whether the files are being overwritten when we are using cp command. Uh, That option is called I option. I stands for I stands for interactive. Now let us see the contents of the directory I option. You can see that the I option directory contains directory 1 and directory 2. Let us see the contents recursively so that you can see the contents of directory 1 and directory 2. You can see that the both directory 1 and directory 2 contains two files whose names are A and A. Let us see the contents of both of them. Let's say directory 1 and then A. It contains a line called I am a file. Let us quit the less view and then let us see the contents of directory in directory 2. It doesn't contain any lines or it is an empty file. Now let us copy a file from directory 1 to directory 2 using I option. Copy I option, interactive option. First argument is file in directory 1 and then second argument is destination directory which is directory 2. It shows that the directory 2 contains an A file. Should we overwrite using copy? If you want to overwrite, you can press Y, which signifies yes. Or if you don't want to overwrite, you can press N and press enter. Let's say let us we want to overwrite. Press Y and then enter. Now let us see the contents of directory 2. Let us see the contents of the A file in directory 2. You can see that the A file in directory 2 is overwritten. So let us just quit the less view. First let us clear the terminal which is quite messy now. Now let us see another useful option of cp command which is R option. So the R option recursively copies directories and their contents. This option is used to copy whole directories. Let's say first let us see the contents of current directory recursively so that you can understand R option better. You can see that the directory there are two directories in R option directory. Directory 1 contains file and two subdirectories, subdirectory 1 and subdirectory 2. And directory 2 is empty. Subdirectory 1 contains a file, subfile 1. Subdirectory 2 contains subfile 2. Now let us copy whole directory 1 into directory 2 using without using R option and with using R option. Let us see without using R option. You can see that the R option is not specified, so omitting directory 1. If you specify R option, now let us see the contents of whole directory. You can see that the directory 2 contains another directory, directory 1, which is copied from this directory. So in this way you can use R command, R option. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.